Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside High Frontier for All Module 1, Terawatt and Futures. This is the first of several expansions we'll be taking a look at for High Frontier for All. Remember, in the base game there was an additional module added into the base game called Module 0, Politics. There are now currently 3 additional expansions that we're going to be taking a look at here on the channel. This is the first one, Terawatt and Futures. So let's take a look at the back of the box and see what this expansion is all about. This module for High Frontier introduces new classes of spaceships and starships. As the industrialization of the solar system progresses, freighters will be needed both to transport valuable factory goods back to Earth markets and to build space elevators. These vessels can be promoted both to create fleets of mobile factories and to unlock ambitious quests called futures. But efficient transport is not enough. Gigawatt Thrusters are new, more powerful and efficient thrusters, allowing your spacecrafts to reach distant destinations faster. And promoted, they become even more powerful Terawatt Thrusters, capable of more formidable futures such as interstellar travel, which requires Module 2. And we see here the contents. We get 14 new cards, 7 Gigawatt Thrusters and 7 freighter fleets, 5 playmat extensions, 5 wooden freighter tokens, 30 isotope fuel beads, 10 wooden stars for marking futures, and 8 wooden sticks for space elevators. And of course you need the core game to use this expansion. So let's take a look inside and see what you get. And this is a little bit of a unique box. It has a side slide opening, kind of like a drawer, so no top and bottom, and it's a little stiff. All right, so we have some wood stars, some glass beads, cards, wood cubes, some wood sticks, baggies, the player mat extensions, and the rule book. So let's take a closer look at all the components. And the first thing we're going to take a look at are the player mat extensions. There are 5 of them in the box. We only need to look at 1 because they're all the same. At the top we have steps for freighter movement. Below that we have steps for the Gigawatt Terawatt Thrusters. Then we have operations and your free actions, as well as a place for your freighter stacks. And we'll take a look at the freighter cards that come with the expansion. These will all be unique vessels with their own method of thrust. As you can see here, each of them has different values, different capabilities for thrust, which I think is pretty interesting. And that's what adds to the exploration fun with a game like this, as you get to explore a lot of different methods of traveling through space. And on the back we have the freighter fleets. Just like we have the freighters, now you can upgrade them to fleets, and they're all going to be unique. You see the different types of freighter fleets, their methods of thrust, and their capabilities all add a unique bend on the game and another way of extending the exploration aspect of High Frontier for All. Next we have the Gigawatt Thrusters, which, just like the freighters, are all unique ways of generating thrust to get your vessels across the vast expanses of space. And again, pose new challenges to you as the player and interesting ways of exploring the solar system in the game. And to step it up, we have the Terawatt Thrusters. Just like the Gigawatt Thrusters, these are different ways of generating thrust to get your vessel across the vast expanses of the solar system, and more challenges, more fun ways to explore the game. And we'll take a look at some of the bits that come with the game. We have wood cubes up here, which will be your freighters. These wood sticks are for space elevators. The glass beads are isotope fuel. And then on the right we have the stars, which will mark your futures. And we'll take a look through the rule book that comes with this expansion. This is going to give you an explanation of how to integrate this expansion to the base game. We have the components and setup, the freighter and Gigawatt Thruster card limits, promoting your patent cards. Remember, we looked at the freighter and freighter fleets, as well as the Gigawatt and Terawatt Thrusters. This explains to you how to do those promotions. The addendums, freighter and Gigawatt Thruster card data, freighters, all explain to you how to use your freighters, because remember, that's what those big cubes are for. And we have the onboard nuclear supports here, freighter promotion and mobile factories, freighter decommissions, space elevators. the freighter and big cube swap, Gigawatt Thrusters, Gigawatt Thruster fuel, the afterburning of your Gigawatt Thrusters, as well as your Terawatt Thrusters, futures, and the futures are the side quests that you're going to be doing in the game. Future requirements, future effects, list of Terawatt Thruster futures, list of freighter futures, the colonist futures, endgame, and module 1 we have Solitaire, Warner Star, futures planning, and then about futures here on page 26. And then we start on page 28 with the patent card descriptions. Remember, we've seen that in the other books where it gives you a breakdown of each of the different patent cards in the game, and it explains to you what each of them can do. And I think that's pretty neat. I always love the explanation of cards. It gives you a nice background as to what the intent of the designer with creating that in the game, or in this case, in the expansion. And that will make out the balance of the rules. And that is a look at everything you get inside of High Frontier for All, Module 1, Terawatt and Futures. This is an expansion designed by Phil Eklund and Jeffrey Chamberlain and published by Ion Game Design. If you have High Frontier for All, it comes with Module 0. Now Modules 1, 2, or 3 are all available for purchase. This is going to give you new challenges, new things to explore in the High Frontier game, which in my opinion, High Frontier for All is has to be the most ambitious board game design ever made. You are taking something that is everyone thinks about, space travel, and you're trying to ground it in hard science as well as some positive theories about different ways that you can travel across the solar system. And I think that is really fantastic because it gives you a game that you can enjoy for many, many years. And maybe there'll be more modules after these that will continue to explore and push the boundaries of different ways of not only traveling across the solar system, but also commercializing it and industrializing it, which is what this whole game system does. You don't just go out there and land on Mars. You go out there and you will create factories and mines and things like that out there, because space is full of resources. And one of the things you're going to do out there is make money, because money is what drives everything in the world and always will. And this is a great way of exploring that in the next frontier, the final frontier, outer space. Well, I hope that helps you guys out if you've been curious about this one. You have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.